I remember working with a product team that was stuck. They were smart, experienced, and deeply committed to building something meaningful. But despite their talent, their work felt flat. They were completing tasks, but they weren't creating anything truly innovative. They weren't challenging each other's thinking. They weren't imagining possibilities beyond the obvious ones. Then something shifted. During a planning meeting, someone asked a question that reframed the entire discussion. What problem are we really trying to solve? That question sparked a debate, a lively one, and within minutes the room was buzzing with ideas none of the team members had considered before. They envisioned possibilities, challenged assumptions, pushed each other, and built on each other's thinking. By the end of the meeting, they had the beginnings of a breakthrough. What changed? Not the people, not the tools, not the process. What changed was the team, acting like a team again, sharing purpose, curiosity, and creativity. And that's when I was reminded of a simple truth. Real innovation happens when people think together. For generations, we've romanticized the idea of the lone visionary, the single brilliant mind who creates something extraordinary in isolation. But that's not how great products are built, and it's not how innovation actually works. Even when an idea begins with one person, it is shaped, refined, improved, and made real by many. Teams provide the friction, feedback, and diversity of thought that transform good ideas into great ones. When I look at the most successful product teams I've worked with over the years, they all share something powerful, a commitment to thinking together. They don't simply divide work, they pursue understanding, they debate, they explore, they build on each other's strengths and perspectives. That collaborative engine is what produces insight, and insight is what produces breakthrough results. Decades of research point to the same conclusion. A landmark analysis published in Science magazine looked at 19.8 million research papers and 2.1 million patents. Over the 5 decades of this research, the percentage of team versus individual discoveries grew. And team discoveries were 6 times as likely to be highly referenced by future research. The conclusion is clear. Innovation has shifted decisively from individuals to teams. This isn't a coincidence. As problems become more complex, we need more perspectives to solve those problems. Teams bring that. They bring debate, they bring conflict and reconciliation. They bring the synthesis of multiple ideas into something none of them could have created alone. Innovation is a conversation. In my work with teams around the world, the differences between high-performing teams and groups of individuals is unmistakable. High-performing teams share a deep understanding of purpose. They challenge each other respectfully. They encourage experimentation. They create psychological safety for new ideas. And high-performing teams find joy, even fun, in working together. Simon Sinek would say they know why they're doing the work. This shared purpose isn't a feel-good sentiment, it's a performance driver. Research from Google's Project Aristotle confirms that teams with psychological safety and shared meaning consistently outperform those without it. Amy Edmondson's work shows that teams who openly learn and explore together innovate faster. When teams understand the why, they do better work. When they lose that, creativity evaporates. I worked with a team that used AI to determine what their users wanted. They created a very thorough product backlog, but they rarely talked to their prospective users. The product that resulted was technically impressive, but emotionally empty, useful but not compelling, functional but not intuitive. The team had the talent, they had the data. What they lacked was collective curiosity, the kind that emerges when a team explores a problem together and challenges each other's assumptions. They didn't need better tools, they needed better teamwork. Today's work is more interdependent, more complex, and more unpredictable than anything we faced 20 or 30 years ago. Customers expect better experiences. Markets shift faster. Products intertwine across disciplines. Solutions require a wider range of expertise. We need teams, not because it's fashionable, but because it's necessary. Teams that think deeply, teams that collaborate authentically, teams that challenge and support one another, teams that understand why their work matters. The research reported in Science magazine didn't mark the end of individual creativity. It marked the rise of collective creativity. If you lead teams, this is the moment to double down on teamwork. Real teamwork, not task distribution. Invest in stable, cross-functional teams, psychological safety, time for discovery, purpose-driven work, clear communication and shared learning, and team training and coaching that unlock creativity. Because in every organization I've ever worked with, one truth always holds. When teams thrive, everything else gets better. Better ideas, better products, better performance, better outcomes for customers and the business. Teams remain our most powerful engine for innovation, and they will shape the breakthroughs of the next decade. If this made you think about your own teams, their collaboration, their creativity, their purpose, you're not alone. Many organizations have talented people who simply aren't working together in the way they want or need. That's exactly where Mountain Goat Software can help. For more than 20 years, we've helped organizations build high-performing, collaborative teams that deliver meaningful results. Through training, coaching, and hands-on guidance, we help teams strengthen communication and trust, clarify purpose and align around shared goals, improve collaboration and decision-making, deliver value more predictably, and create an environment where creative thinking thrives. If your teams aren't performing as well as you'd like, or if you know they're capable of more, we'd love to talk. Helping organizations build stronger, more effective teams is what we do best.